more for loop created. One for loop to read all the rows, inner for loop to read all the columns of the table. Let's see this. This is the last script we have created yesterday. Reading the train number and train name. Now I want to retrieve the complete data present in this table. Train number, train name, train type, run days, departure time, arrival time. The complete data I want to fetch. Well, so what you want me to change in this logic?
We can have two for loops. One is for the rows and one for the column.
Rows loop already available in this logic. We are reading for the logic. Go to the first TR element available in the list.
0 to
Each TR element has multiple TD elements. We are reading all TD elements of a row into another Java list called columns. There are about 6 columns ranging 0 to 5. 0 and 1, train number and train name. The same way we have to retrieve remaining columns of the table. 2, 3, 4, 5. Instead, yes, what we can do?
instead we can use for loops.
Yeah, another for loop in
Another for loop,
j equals
j equal to,
I
no, j equal to,
sir. J is equals to 1. Yeah, j equals to 1, j less than I.
not 1,
0.
0.
0.
Yesterday, I mean previous code, we do not wanted the 0th TR element, hence we started from 1. But here we wanted from 0 to 5. Totally there are about 6 TD elements in the columns. 6 TD elements ranging 0 to 5. We want to access 0 to 5 columns of the TR element. You have to start the value from 0, j less than columns dot size j plus plus columns dot get of j dot get text. These I am keeping into some variable, say data. In the inner for loop first iteration, j value 0. The 0th 3 element text property we are reading into a variable called data. The second iteration j value 1. This we are reading into the same variable called data. The next iteration train type, next iteration like this, one by one we are reading. Print the data. I use println, print line. It's not required now. Println meaning every data will be printed in a new line. The very first iteration data contain the train number 12267. Check. Then the train name. Train type. Run days. Departure time. The arrival time. Then it is reading the second row data, same train number, train name and everything. Like lastly, the last train number 12864, the last train name Yeshwantapur. Finally, we are able to read the entire data present in the table. As I use println, every data is printing in a new line. If I use print, then what happens? Complete data all together printed in the same line. Print the data in the current line. Println will print the data in the new line. The complete data printed in the same line. Still it is printing. The last train number, Yeshwantapur, Hora. So now, as I use print the data in the same line. I want to print the data like line by line, but not all line by line. One train information in one line, next train information in the next line. You tell me what I can do. In the same format I want to print it.
For each loop, sir.
No. Either for loop or for each loop access the data. We are printing the data in the same line. Okay, here inner for loop to access the TDs of one row. Okay, one train information will be printed in the same line. I want to print the second train information in the next line. The first for loop for repeating the rows. Print a new line character. There is nothing I am printing. Just it inserts a blank line. The last line information. Or you want to give some white spaces between the data. Something like this. Venkat, mute user. So now we are printing the data, whatever the data present in the table, IRCTC trains table, we are able to retrieve and print it here. So this program demonstrating you how to access the entire data present in the table. If you have still any question on this logic, I'll explain, I'll clarify, then I go further. The first for loop, what is the purpose of the first for loop here? To read all the rows present in the table. Each row has multiple columns, multiple TDs. In these Java lists, another Java list, rows.get of I, go to the first TR element, capture all TD elements of the first TR element to another Java list called columns. There are we have observed about 6 TD elements ranging from 0 to 5. As I want to retrieve everything, one option 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like yesterday code 0 and 1. Remaining we have to give. Otherwise, we can have one more for loop created to repeat on the TD elements. 0 to 5, that is 0 to columns.size. So each time we are accessing the text property of the TD element into some variable data and we are printing here. Only here println, every data will be printed in a new line. Print, complete data printed in the same line. I want to print row by row, print the data. Before going to the next row, first for loop for going to the next row, I'm inserting a blank line. Println will insert a blank line and the next row data will be printed in the next line. So finally, this program just demonstrating you how to fetch the data available in the table. Right. Let me explain the practical usage of this working with tables concept.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes.
Sir, can we print the same format
Yes.
as it is? Sir, can we print the same format as it is, which is in visible in that application?
I printed as it is only right here.
Sir, same as it is like this only. Row by row, column by column.
You said like table, sir.
Table, right, sir?
No, I am printing as it is only right here. Now you wanted to insert these lines also?
No, sir, no, not. I'm not talking about that. You printed in
Hmm.
vertical manner, no? Not aligned.
Okay. No, I'm printing line by line only here, right here.
Maybe he is asking to in the same format as IRCTC,
As it is.
As it is meaning?
looking like as in table.
Are you, why you require that? Why you need that?
I'm just asking, sir.
No, we can, but actually, first of all, this is also not required. Only for learning purpose, I am explaining this. If you really want to insert the lines also, you inserted a empty line, right? Rather than inserting an empty line, I'm giving a kind of a line character. First of all, in testing point of it's not required. That's what I'm trying to say. We read the required information for testing purpose. One second. Where I use it? Print the data. The data we are printing in single line. We are inserting a not required. This console output is not at all required for us. So here we are trying to understand how to read the data from a table. This is what you are asking? Like this. You no need to practice all this kind of stuff. Leave it. Finally, we have to read the data from the page. That's it. If you want to insert one more thing here, something like this. Right. Now, let's see the practical scenario where we use this concept in test cases, Selenium test cases. Say in this application, log in as an administrator, check admin able to successfully register an employee or not. This is the scenario I would like to test. Add an employee. I'm giving some name. What is the employee number here? 2019. I'll make Selenium to capture this employee number. Save. Now I would like to test through the Selenium code the employee registered successfully or not. Tell me the logic. How you verify the employee registered successfully or not? We are building any program to validate the functional requirement, functionality. I want to write a script from here to check really the employee registered successfully or not. What is the logic?
Sir, is displayed.
Where it is displayed?
Sir,
Employee
admin-
list. Employee list.
employee list should be displayed in admin.
I'll go to the employee list. All registered employee must be available somewhere in this table, correct? The registered employee must present somewhere in this table. I'll enter the employee number created. What is the value? 2019. And click search. Definitely I do manual testing in this way only. In this table, the registered employee available or not, I will check. The employee I created, John and Demo, yes, it is available in the table, meaning the employee was registered successfully. We know how to enter the first name, last name, click save button, capture the employee number, but we do not know how to read the data from the table. For that reason, I discussed about the topic, reading from the data from the tables. If I am able to read the data from this table, then only I can able to validate the employee registered successfully or not. Let us complete this test case. After launching this RNHRM application, we have to build the code for login as administrator. Click the login element. Then go to this add employee page, PIM link, add employee link. Both are links here. After clicking this add employee, input the first name, last name and click save button. First input the first name and last name. First name. ID also same. I'm giving some first name. Last name. And before I click save, I'll read this employee ID generated. Because this employee ID I have to input for search. How to capture the data displayed on any text box element?
Get attribute.
It is a value property of the element, so we have to use get attribute of value. Driver dot, find the element by its ID. Just a second. By its ID, capture value property of the element into some variable employee number. Into some variable employee number. You know, get attribute returns a string because any property value is a string here. See, any value enclosed in the double quotes here. Get attributes, return type is a string, so I stored in a variable. The variable name may be EMP number, but the data type is string. Then I want to make Selenium to click this save element. Here there is ID available. Click it. Now I made the code up to clicking on save button. $2020 is the value. Now we have the code till this point. Then I want to make Selenium to click on this employee list link. Employee list link. After clicking on employee list, whatever the employee number already I captured in the code, I'll input here and click search button. If there is ID available, the employee number, whatever captured while adding an employee, we are entering into the field here, like this, 2020, and we have to click the search element. After clicking the search element, we have to make Selenium to find out this table, read the data present in the table, and check the data what you have created and this data is matching or not. From here you tell me the logic. I made the code up to clicking on search. So we have to build the logic to verify the employee ID you have entered. Whatever the employee we created, that employee number we have entered, that must be present in this table. If really present in the table, test case pass, otherwise test case fail. Yes, what is the logic we have to build here? Maybe here I have one record or more records. I do not know. First, I'll make Selenium to identify the table first. Read all the rows present in the table. Go to row 1, row 2, row 3 and check the employee registered employee available in the table or not. First, we have to make Selenium to identify this table element. Then we have to capture the TR elements, TD elements. We'll write the logic. First, I'll make Selenium to find out this table element. There is an ID property available for this table. Here I am declaring a variable of type web element. Here my variable name is EMP table. The EMP table equal to, will make Selenium to identify the table based on the ID we have seen. First we made Selenium to find the table first. This table will have multiple rows and columns. These are table elements we made Selenium to find out. The first TR element contains some table headings, which I do not wanted. The other TR elements contain the actual table data. I'll make Selenium to read all the TR elements of the table. Here I am creating one Java list to store the TR elements. Rows is my Java list name here. Rows equal to a table element dot find elements by the tag name TR. All TR elements of the employee table we are taking into some Java list called rows. There may be one row or multiple rows, I do not know. I'm constructing a for loop. The 0th TR element we are skipping, which contain the headings. Rows dot size. Then rows dot get of I, go to the first TR element. There are multiple columns available. Find elements by the tag name TD. We are reading all the TD elements of the first row in the first iteration into some Java list. Here I declare two lists here, like int x comma y. Two are type list of web elements. Columns equal to. We are reading all TD elements of the TR element into some Java list called columns. How many columns are here? From here you can easily identify. This is the 0th column, 0th TD element that contain a checkbox. Next TD element contain the employee number, first name, the last name, and remaining details here. You tell me which data you want to read.
ID, sir.
Employee ID is enough. This is enough. The employee number what I have entered, if available in this table, test case is pass. Name also you can read and test, but an ID is enough here. This is the 0th TD element and it is the first TD element. This TD element text property I will read. Columns dot get off 1 dot get the text of it. This text I'll compare with the employee number what you have entered. If these conditions satisfied, employee registered or not? If these conditions satisfied, employee registered successfully. Registered employee data available in the table. The new employee registered successfully and test pass. If there are multiple rows available, maybe some way the new employee registered available, do you need to go for remaining rows? Go for break. Otherwise, no way this condition satisfied.
So it has to come outside the for loop.
Which one?
That is this because we have to check for all the rows. So this is failed part should come outside the for loop.
One second. If the first row data is not available, yes, you are right. You understand the logic? What she said? This is a wrong logic. This is what first beginning days I had demonstrated. In the first row, what it is doing, it is comparing the first row data. Supposing the first row is not matching, immediately it goes to else part, right? Previously also in the car example, in other example I have explained, in the drop-down list example also. First we made the logic like this. Say, the first row do not contain the employee number 2020. What happened? It goes to else part. Without checking with the remaining rows of data present in the table, simply your your script will produce the results as fail. Correct. What kind of logic earlier we have built? Yes, madam, you answer this. But similar kind of logic we have built previously.
Yeah, so we have an element, we declare an element of Boolean type.
Boolean type.
Present. Is present.
Is employee present? What is the value we store initially? False.
False.
We assume the employee is not in the list. If really this condition satisfied, we make the Boolean variable value is employee present true, then break. Here, end of the for loop, the Boolean variable will have either true or false. Initially false. If somewhere employee number available, true. If nowhere available, false. Finally, based on the Boolean variable, is employee present, we make a decision. If the employee is present, test case pause. Test case is failed. Let's run this. Finally, while creating some test cases, we have to retrieve the data from the table. For that reason, we discussed about yesterday how to count the rows, how to count the column, how to read the data. Yes, the employee created successfully. We are getting test case as pass. So here I demonstrated the practical usage of working with web tables, working with HTML table in Selenium test cases. Down the line, we create few more programs also. See,
Sir, can we use instead try catch method?
why try catch required here? See here in this application, if I go to flight bookings, this is also one table. I want to test deleting a particular order. I want to write a program to delete the given order, 2077, 2078, something like this. Remember, this is also one table. This is also one table element. While discussing about how to handle the alerts, again we are going to write one more program related to the table. In fact, our next concept, working with calendars, also table. Let's see here. Here I have a component, select a date. You please observe here, dates are displayed in the form of a table. I'm showing you the properties of this calendar. See, this is also one table element. If I want to write the code to select the given date, whatever the date I give, that date need to be picked up. Definitely you have to build the code to work with the tables concept. Right. Just give me a second. Right. So note on the next topic. Working with calendars. Working with calendars. So here, try to understand this. In this application, when I'm trying to register an account, it is asking a date of birth. It's a calendar component. Before I proceed further, please observe the design of the system. Here we have a text box, right? The date of birth, we have a text box, right? Right here, the online team answered this question. It's a text box or not? If really a calendar given as a text box, directly we can use a method called send case. We can use send case. You no need to worry about writing a code to handle the calendar. Now I want to click on the register link. Now we are getting this one. Here I have to enter some date of birth. I'm spying the properties of this element. There's a name property DOB. I'm using send case. I'm giving some sample data here. 10, say 10, something like this. Please observe here, it was selected the given date. 10 highlighted here, right? 10, date 10, October 10, 10th month, 1986. In this scenario, first of all, you no need to worry about handling this calendar. Sun keys is enough. Here, sun keys is enough. It is entering the date. It is selecting the date you have given. But in this calendar design, there's a text box available and also a calendar available. I have two options here. I can directly input the data using send keys. Also, I can build the code to select a value from a drop-down list, select a value from a drop-down list, pick the date from the table. Here I have two options. I can use send keys to enter the data in a text box, or else I can build a code to select the date from the calendar component. Which one you recommend here? Send keys is suggested, enough. Why unnecessary to make your code complex? We are not building a product, we are testing it is working or not, registration working or not. Send keys is enough in this scenario. Okay. I'm showing you another date component in some other application. Here also we have date component. Here the user have an option to use send keys.
No.
Online team, there's a noise coming, mute yourself.
We need to
This
check
red
first
bus
with the send
application.
key.
In this red bus application, can I use send keys to enter the data?
No.
No option, no text box here. We don't have any text box here. Only the way you need to handle this calendar. Previously, I have two options. I can key the data in a text box, or I can handle the calendar. But here I don't have an option to use send keys. Send keys will not work out here because it is not a text box element. Only the option we have to write the code to pick the required date from the calendar. That is based on your web application design, we have to build the script. If I'm writing the code on flight application to select a date, I use send case. If I'm writing the code to select a date on this web application, definitely send case will not work out. So finally learn how to pick up a date from the calendars. Send keys I no need to explain to you. And remember, in any date component, if you are using send keys, you have to follow this format. Hyphen you have to use. / commas will not work out. So actually, in technology, there are different date components. Based on the date components used, it works out. Let's see. This I did not verify in this. No, it's not considering the /. Only hyphen you have to use. This very simple. How to use send keys I no need to teach you again to enter the data. But here our concentration is, if there is no option, supposing some other application, I don't have an option to input the data, only I have an option to select a date from this calendar, how to select it. Right. You please observe in this calendar, month given as a drop-down list. Year also given as a drop-down list. Dates are available in the form of a table. It's a table actually. See, this is a table element. Above the table we have the drop-down list elements. Just a moment. This is the first drop-down list element. Year drop-down list element. Below the drop-down list elements, we have the table. Month is a separate element. Year is a separate element. This table is a separate element. We have to write the logic to handle all these components together. Right. Let me show you another calendar here. To practice this, you can register your account, you can practice it. Here also we can use send keys. And you please observe this calendar. Wanted I ask my person to make like this. I don't have drop-down list here. These other type of calendar generally you see in web pages. Previous one, we have drop-down list. Month you can select from a drop-down list. Year also we can select from a drop-down list. Only date you have to pick up from the table. You please observe other type of calendar. I don't have drop-down list here. How you choose the next month or next year? By clicking
Arrow.
the next button, correct? Arrow, next arrow button. I want to select the given date. I given some date in the 2024, 2025. How many times you have to click next button? Let us create this kind of logic. If really a text box is available, your story is simple. Send keys, you give the date in the format of dd-mm-yy. That is enough. If really like Redbus or any other booking.com, some other application, you don't have a text box to input the date, only calendars are available. Generally, you see two types of calendars. Month and year may be given as a drop-down list. Only dates are available in the form of a table. In some other type of calendar, only by clicking the next buttons, you have to pick up the date and month and year. So let us work out the code to write the program to select the date from these two types of calendars. Because send keys, I no need to teach you again, right? First, we'll write the code on the first calendar here. Here I have the code up to register. I'm commenting this. So that if you want to use send keys, you can use like this, provided if it is allowing to input the data, text box is available. If it is not available, no way, we have to build the logic to select the date from the calendar component. At first, I have to make Selenium to click here. Then only the calendar will be invoked. Let us write the code to click on this element. Name DOB. Driver dot find element by the name property, date of birth, 1 second, date of birth dot click. Click on this element. Then once this element is clicked, we are seeing this calendar. First, I have to decide the date you want to select. First, we have to decide some date to be selected. I'm declaring some variable, DOB, date of birth, will store some data. Your date of birth, date 25, 12. What is that? Sorry. Right. I given date, month, and year here. Date, month, and year. But see in this calendar, date okay, year okay, month is not available in 10, 12, something like this. If I'm keying using send keys 10 and 12 automatically to select December. Here I want to select a value from a drop-down list. I'm giving like this, okay? So that this value can be selected from a drop-down list. Well, see the application design. Date is a separate component, month is a separate component, year also a separate component. But here we have all together. So what I will do now, DOB is a string, right? A string class provide a function split. Split used to split the strings based on the given delimiter. I am splitting the string based on the given regular expression, delimiter, special character. So what is the special character I use to segregate the data here?
Forward slash.
Forward slash. What this will do, the string date of birth splitted based on the forward slash. After splitting, how many values you get? 3 values you get. You please observe the return type of the split function. A array of type string, because it is splitting and returning multiple values. The return type is an array of type string. Here my array name, for example, temp. Now temp of 0 will have, temp of 0 will have
25, sir.
25.
that is date value. Temp of 1 will have month value. Temp of 2 will have year value. I'm declaring one variable here, date equal to temp of 0. Another variable here, month equal to temp of 1. The other variable here, temp of 2. Let's see here. I'm printing the date. I'm printing the month. I'm printing the year. Where I made a mistake. Okay. No driver object. Just I'm printing date, month, and year. You may ask a question. Why like this? Directly, why can't you store the data directly here? I can. Directly, I can store the data here, right? Date equal to 25, month equal to December, year equal to 1992. But next time I want to select some other date. Every time I have to update three variables. Instead, now I'll update only the one variable date value. The date is getting splitted and stored into the individual variables date, month and year. Next time you want to see other option, what I can do, directly I can give here, right? Date equal to 25, month equal to December, year equal to that 1992. I can give like this. All this is not required. Then why I made the logic like this? Next time I want to select some other date, what I have to do? I have to update three variables. So instead, now I have to update only this variable, correct? So automatically values are getting splitted and stored into the corresponding variables. And also, as it is learning, just I thought of introducing you another function related to string called split. Split function used to split the data based on the given special character. Split a string based on the special character. Right. Supposing somewhere you have the data like this. Username value, a password value, something like this. ABC, XYZ, ABC. I'll read this entire string, but the string contains both username and password, separated with a delimiter called pipe symbol. I can use split function here. If I use split here, first value is nothing but username, second value nothing but the password. Right. Now, first I'll write the code. To select the month and year. Then we concentrate on the table concept. First select the month, select the year. Then we concentrate on writing the code for selecting the date from the table. Month and year available in the form of drop-down list. Tell me the code now. Month is a drop-down list, year also one drop-down list. To work with any drop-down list element, you need to create
Object.
select class object. Month is my select class object name here, equal to new select the month web element, this element. There is a class property available here. This class property has a hyphen, not a white space. I can use it. So driver dot, find the element by its class name. We are supplying the web element while creating an object for the Selenium select class. Sorry. Here also there is a variable of type. No. There is a variable with the name month. Again I am declaring one more variable with the same name month. Mlist, month list. Mlist dot select by. Here I have the month as a text, December. So mlist dot select by visible text month. The same way I am creating one more select class object to select the year. Say y list equal to new select this one. There's a class property here. Revert dot, find element by its class name, this one. Now, while is dot, select by visible text here. Let me run the code till this point. It selected month and year, December 1992. It selected the given month, December, and the given year, 1992. Now we need to concentrate on the logic for selecting the date from the table. It's a table actually. I'm spying the properties of this table element. There is a class property available here. Here I am declaring a variable of type web element to hold the table. For example, calendar equal to, I'll make Selenium to identify the table element based on its class property stored into the calendar. Okay, the calendar will have rows and columns. What is the date you want to pick up? What is the date you have given? 25. This time you have given 25. Next time you may give 15, you may give 10, you may give 1, you may give 31. Whatever date you have given, that date need to be selected. Maybe your date may be available in the first row or in the second row or in the middle row or in the last row, I do not know. Where is the date? We do not know, correct? We made Selenium to find the table first, capture all the TR elements of this table. Like previous concept. Go to the first row, check the date available or not. Go to next row, check date available or not. If available, click it. Otherwise, go to the next one. I'm creating a Java list here to store the rows and columns. One Java list to store TR elements, another Java list to store TD elements. Now, rows equal to the table name calendar dot find elements by the tag name. What is the tag name? TR. All TR elements I am reading into the Java list called rows. There are multiple rows available. What is next logic? There are many rows available here. Yes, what is your next logic? We captured all the TR elements into some Java list. The first TR element contains weekday name, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, not required. Go to next row, next row, next row, till last row, and we have to capture the TD elements. We'll construct a for loop.
For loop.
Int I equal to 1, I less than rows dot size I plus plus. Columns is another Java list. So similar kind of previous logic only. Columns equal to another Java list. Rows dot get off I dot find elements by the tag name. What is the tag name here? TD. All TD elements we are reading. Maybe one of the TD element contain your date. If columns dot get off. One moment, sorry. There are multiple columns, right? There are many columns, right? Many TD elements here. Each row contains multiple TD elements. I do not know where is my date available. We'll go for one more loop. J equal to 0, J less than columns dot size J plus plus. Columns dot get of J dot get the text of it. These texts I compare with the date I want to pick up. We are reading the text property of the TD element. We are reading the text property of the TD element, comparing with the date you want to select. If these conditions satisfied, what do you have to do? If the date is matched, what do you have to do? Click the TD element. Select meaning click the TD element. Columns dot get of J dot click. I do not want to continue remaining iterations. Break the loop. Enough. I'm running this code. Read the text property of the TD element, compare wherever the match is occurred, click the appropriate TD element. This is the date you have given, right? You selected 25th December 1992. See the last logic. Go to the first row, first TR element in the table. Read all columns of the first row. There are so many columns. We constructed a loop for repeating on the columns to iterate the columns, TDs. Take the text property of the first TD element, compare with the date you want to pick. If not matching, next iteration. J value becomes 1. Read the text property of the next column. Read the text property of the next column like this. Finally, wherever the condition satisfied, perform the click action and the break. Let me change the date, some other date. 02. Forgotten? 2nd July? Year? So whatever the date you give, your code can able to select the value from the table now. If really you have an option to use send case, I recommend you go with send case. Honestly, we no need to make our logic complex. For learning point of view, you can build it. If there is an option to use send case to input the date, go with send case. If no option to input the date in using send case, because it is not a text box element, only calendar available. Actually, in this application design, we have text box and on the above calendar. We have two options here. But if supposing in some other application I have shown you like Redbus or Booking.com, we have only calendar, no option to use send case. Definitely you have to build the logic like this. Understood? This is also extension to table concept. Hope this is understood, right? But here in this calendar, we have an option to select a month from the drop-down list, year also from the drop-down list. I have shown you another calendar, even in Redbus also. We don't have drop-down list. We have to click the next buttons. That is our next program. How to select the date from other type of calendar, where I don't have drop-down list to select the month and the year. First, if you go through this logic, if you have any questions, I clarify. Then we conclude here today. Tomorrow, I build the code for the other type of calendar. In this application calendar, I'll repeat. Month given as a drop-down list. Year also given as a drop-down list. We know if you want to pick up a value from a drop-down list, we have to use select class object, select class given by the Selenium. I created the first select class object For the month drop-down list, select by visible text, month. This one, July. I created one more select class object to select a value from the second drop-down list, year. Then the dates are available in the form of a table. First, I made Selenium to identify the table first. Here, we made Selenium to identify the table element. The table element will have rows and columns, TRs and TDs. I do not know where is my date, in the first row or in the middle row or in the last row. First, capture all the TR elements. This is what we did here. We have taken all TR elements into the Java list. There are multiple TR elements. The 0th TR element contains weekdays, not required. I constructed a for loop, supposing if there are 5 rows, 1 to 5. 0th row we are skipping. Then each TR element will have columns, because actually here the date available in the form of TD element, correct? Date is available in the form of TD element. I read all the TD elements of the first TR element into another Java list called columns. And then capture the text property of the TD element. 1, compare with the date, no. 2, compare with the date you want to select, no. 3, 4, 5. We are reading the date available in the table, comparing with the date you want to pick up. Wherever the condition satisfied, click the TD element and exit, break. I given the topic like working with calendars, right? Make a note like this. Just a second. So take the notes in this way, working with calendars. In a calendar component, if we have an option, to enter the date value, see here, I have the month here, I have the year here, also I have a text box here. So here I have an option to enter the date value, use send keys. Use send keys to input the date. Use send keys to input the date. Continuation. If no option to use send keys, we have to build Selenium code. As per the calendar design. So different developers can create different types of calendars as per the calendar design. So I have shown you there are 2 types of calendars mostly we see. Month and year may be given as a drop-down list. Dates are available in the form of a table. Some other calendars, by clicking the next button only, we can move on to the next month and next year. So today we have covered how to select a date from a calendar where we have month as a drop-down list, year as a drop-down list. Tomorrow I'll write the code. By clicking the next button, I have to choose the required date, month and year. Whatever the date, whatever the month, whatever year I have given, finally, whatever the date I have given, your code should select it. Okay, so after developing this logic, tomorrow we'll discuss about another topic, automating mouse operations. Somewhere I want to perform double click, right click, drag and drop. How to do all these operations with the Selenium code. Generally, click will do only left click, correct? Some application we have to do right click, then only you see some option. In manual testing, I do it. How to make Selenium to perform the right click action. How to make Selenium to move the mouse over some element. When I move the mouse over some element, then only some options will be visible in web page designing. How to move the mouse over some element, how to do the right click, how to do some drag and drop action, mouse operations. Then we talk about alerts, windows, frames, one by one. So tomorrow mostly we cover two concepts. This is another calendar and also automating keyboard and mouse operation using Selenium actions class. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, online team. We'll continue tomorrow.